Welcome back to 5-Day Crypto. My name is Chase, level 1 CMT and full-time trader. Let's take a look at Chainlink. We're going to do a brief update on the weekly, get you caught up to speed, what to look out for the macro level, and then we're going to zoom way in. We don't look in Chainlink often on the short time frame, but we're going to zoom into the 4-hour today, show you what to watch for the rest of today and the next couple of days going forward. So let's get right to it. Chainlink breakout level on the weekly scale, well above all moving averages, pressing now for our 5th consecutive week outside the upper Bollinger Band. Are we going to maintain it, or are we going to come back in, maybe get our first kind of cool off or a retest? If we do, here's the levels you want to be watching for and paying attention to. So step 1, this guy right here. What is that? I'm glad you asked. The EMA 8 on the weekly, the red line. It's the lowest moving average that we track. The highest one is this pink one in the 200 week. You can see that right in the middle of our breakout zone. So step 1 though, right above us, this will rise week over week so far. It's moving up, right? So all of these moving averages will update accordingly on each week. So if I give you a price point, right, that will be different on a day-to-day basis, yes, but on more importantly a weekly basis, these will update. So when I say EMA 8, I don't mean watch this price point like a hawk. I mean watch that moving average that will update. So you're going to need to check it time to time. But as of right now, that EMA 8 is 1155, 1156. So as of right now, if we go there, right, it will be roughly that spot, okay? More importantly, the 21 week, the yellow line, right? You can see all the way back here, right? I know it's a little bit hard to see now because it's right at the 200 week. So that'll be huge weekly support, you know, barring the EMA 8 gives, right? We might very well just bounce off the EMA 8. And oftentimes on this powerful kind of breakout move, you will get that. So having an order in there, if you've missed all this, right, might be in your best interest to at least start to dollar cost average at that level. So again, 11, what the hell ever I said, the EMA 8, right, that price point. Step 1. Step 2, if we go lower, not likely this week that we're going lower than that, but you know, nothing's etched in stone, nothing's 100% in trading or crypto or in life. So word to your mother on that one. 200 week, 21 week, that will be our next spot in this zone. The top of this zone is also this blue line, the 100 week at 980-ish or so. And you can see the 200 and the 21 week at right around the same level, 925 or so. These will change slightly week over week. The 200 changes not much. The 21 week will very likely be above this zone come next week. We will do a refresh and recap for you when that happens. But that's the weekly update, right? We've done a lot of kind of macro scale thoughts going forward for Link, but sometime between now and the end of 2023, the start of 2024. Now keep in mind, this box, the end of this box is 2024, right? We don't have that long. Are we going to retest something between now and then? It's highly probable, right? Not just Chainlink, but Bitcoin, all the rest of crypto, likely to have just a little bit of a consolidation. At worst case, or at best case, you should say, is the EMA 8 on a lot of these altcoins. Some of them will actually hold that, very, very likely. Is Chainlink in that? We don't know. But if that is broken and closed below, remember closing prices are with a line, right? If you put on a line chart, it eliminates the noise. It's very easy to see why we draw that, the bottom of this, right? This box, that's their highest closing price. And the top, right, includes all the wicks, right? All the price action. So that was our peak breakout. And very likely we'll have a bullish retest, also known as a throwback to that level, which we've said time and time again, all the Chainlink videos. Okay. Enough of that, right? Let's go towards zoom in, right? The 4-hour. Here's that zone way back. Here's our throwback zone. It's still that zone, right? You can maintain that, but let's eliminate that, right? That's not likely going to happen on the 4-hour chart in the next couple of candles, right? But what we do want to be paying attention to for the short term, right? Short term, 4-hour. We're trapped on this EMA 8 here, right? You see that? Look at closing price again. Look at the red line. The red line is what you're watching for, right? We need a close above that to gain more bullish momentum. Until then, the odds are down, right? We're in a new downtrend. Why? Well, we just closed below this previous low, right? So we've reversed it. By definition, we're putting in lower highs and lower lows. So that we're in a new downtrend. Now, I don't know when or how long that downtrend lasts, and neither does anybody else. But guess what? We're in a downtrend until proven otherwise. We start to potentially erase that by closing simply above the EMA 8 again. As of right now, it's 1446. Again, that will change, but watch for the first sign of the bulls stepping back in will be a close above the EMA 8 on the 4 hour. So this is zoomed way in here. I get it. But that's what to watch for in the short term. Now, how about to the downside? If we continue this downtrend, well, let's look. EMA 100, 1332. Are we going to find any major support there? Well, let's zoom out. Do we have any major structural support back over this way? Not really, right? Even if closing prices didn't really hang around that much, you could probably maybe try to argue, maybe you see a zone there, something like that. But I mean, you're reaching at that point, right? Not a whole lot going for us at that level. You could argue 13 to 1330. Maybe that's a minor stopping point. You can see our low so far, the last 4 hour candle. Still hasn't touched it yet, but maybe on the outside chance we get a hesitation or a hold there. But the bigger one on the 4 hour chart is going to be our 200 EMA right down at 1167. And then if you zoom out, you got a little bit more weight here, right? You can see there's a little bit more argument to be had that this is a bigger level. And even on the short term, right? Look at all the interaction here. Like, look at all the touch points here. A lot of interaction, a lot of liquidity in this side of this box. Look at the low here before launch time, right? A breakout of that zone, right? Or imagine we're back here, right? Imagine you can't even see all this, right? Here's our breakout, right? Let's look at this. So let's pretend we're here, still here, right? Here's our resistance zone, right? When do we break it? Look at that candle. You want to break resistance zones with conviction. And I would say that's pretty convincing. Not only do we break 1170, but we went immediately to 1240, right? And then guess what happens? A bullish retest or a throwback to the top of that exact zone, right? And then you can bounce and trampoline effect to outer space, which Chainlink has happily done over the past couple of days here, right? But now we're in the chill zone. So if we come back down even further than we are now, if we break, say we close under 1330, high odds that we're coming back to this place, right? There's nothing else stopping us between here and there. Now, if we do bounce between here and there, then we're okay. But if we close, right, closing price, if we close under 1330, high probability we're coming down to this zone. And this is going to be a bigger place to start loading up again. Remember, don't be too greedy. In a bull market, in an uptrend, you're buying the throwback. In a downtrend, you're selling the rip. In an uptrend, you're buying the dip, right? Makes sense, right? Okay, so that's where we're at. That's the short term. So even on the long term, the daily, right? This is going to be a pretty good level. So today, tomorrow, next day, if Bitcoin continues to slide, this is where you're going to want to look. Bitcoin's now at 35.3 as of right now. Bitcoin would probably hit, let's see where Chainlink would have to go, right? So roughly, we're looking at 16, 17%, 20% to the bottom of that. Could that possibly happen in the next couple of candles? No. Next couple of days, perhaps. Bitcoin would have to shave another probably 10% for that to happen. Why would altcoins go down more than Bitcoin? Bitcoin dominance is so high. Bitcoin dominance is still high. Upper 50, like look at the Bitcoin dominance only primarily on the weekly chart, right? Look at where we are, right? So we're Bitcoin dominance is likely to bounce somewhere soon here, right? I would put this as a zone, right? All this paints forward. You can use TA on anything, right? Bitcoin dominance likely to go higher. How much higher? Upper 50s, right? Why there? Well, look over here, right? Bitcoin dominance likely to go here before a true alt season. Alt seasons happen when Bitcoin dominance, falls down the steps here, right? This is the true alt season right here, right? When you roll over after a move up. Now, I think Bitcoin dominance will likely do something like this, loosely fit. But when we get this rollover like this is when alt season happens. When is that going to happen? Likely early 2024, like Q1, maybe Q2, right? We're looking at March, April, something like that, right? Green spring, right? That's what we're looking at. And it doesn't mean prices can't move up, but to get like 2 or 3 X's in a week or two out of some altcoins, Chainlink included, right? You're going to need an alt season. Bitcoin dominance still much too high, right? So Bitcoin, how much does it have to cool off? Well, I would say 10%. Whoops. Let's go 10%. See what we're looking at. Jesus. Come on, nail it, Chase. You got it. So 10% from here, right, gets us right roughly back to the top of our accumulation zone around 32K. So if Bitcoin wants to have a prolonged cool off or a bullish retest throwback of this breakout level that we've looked at across all of Chainlink and Bitcoin's very likely going to retest somewhere in this zone between now and maybe even January. I would give it some time, right? So 2024 is right here. If Bitcoin goes down 10% to around low 30s, 32, gets back in its accumulation zone, guess what? Chainlink can hit back in its bigger accumulation zone, $10, $11 area, and then it's likely game on for full bull cycle mode, right? So that's what we're looking at, right? Here's that massive zone on the 4 hour, right? Remember our 4 hour zone, right? The 200 EMA, right? All of this, right? This all makes sense. You start connecting the dots across all of crypto, and this is the story, the picture we're painting. So my job as a TA analyst isn't to tell you what to think, it's to present you the facts, and then you do the thinking. Anybody you're following on YouTube or whatever, Twitter, and they're saying they're a crypto analyst, but yet they're telling you what to do, no, that's wrong. Right? My only TA's job is to present you the facts, translate it for you, right? I'm the reader, I'm the painter. You look at the picture, right? That's my only job, is to tell you, here's what the facts are, and you can do what you want, right? It's not my job to tell you when to buy, what to sell. No. I'm just presenting you the facts in as clear painted picture as possible. You connect the dots, you translate the picture in whatever way you see fit. Okay. So this is this. I can only state this as blatantly obviously enough. I've connected a lot of dots. If you've got more dots you need connecting, either contact a psychologist or ask me a question down below and I'm happy to help. Right. So let's get to our quote of the day. Real riches are the riches possessed inside. Sounds like something a rich person would say. Read between the lines on that one. Okay, let's get to only real beauty's on the inside, says every ugly person. All right, so car of the day, Mercedes, AMG, GT, or the GTR. Let's go with both. There's a couple different color options for you. I love the chartreuse with the matte gray. That's pretty spectacular looking. Or we have a brighter green, Mercedes, the GTR, right? Kind of a couple different options, the GT or the GTR. Why not? Two-door, Mercedes, supercar. Let's do it. All right. If you got any questions, want to follow us more, follow us on Twitter, Telegram, Patreon. Patreon, you get access to exclusive private group. We do a bunch of updates in there daily, mostly about Bitcoin, what to expect next, the DXY, all that good stuff. If you want to learn more through this bull cycle, I highly recommend trying it out. For the two of you that are watching this far, you're probably already there, right? So I'll see you there. All this week, obviously. I'll see you there. I'll just stop talking now. What else do we got? Nothing. We have nothing else. What else do you want to see more of? For the two of you that are watching, we can talk about anything. These guys in the parking lot, let's zoom in on them. What are they doing? Where are they going? They're probably checking their crypto on their phones. These guys, I mean, this guy's in a shirt, arms behind his back. That's suspect. I mean, where are we? It depends on where we are. Are we in Cali? Are we in Chicago? Nope. We're in Europe. What are they talking about? Chainlink? Probably not with this car. I mean, geez. Maybe with this car. This guy's definitely bought Chainlink back in 2019. He's ready to roll.